All right. So you probably have noticed I skipped a few days. The video for yesterday afternoon included a car crash, and even though I am sure that that would somehow boost numbers on this channel, I don't really feel comfortable including something like that in my videos. So all I'm going to say for now is that cars are a menace to society, and we kind of just treat people crashing into buildings and shit as built-in cost. So if you look over to the left here, you'll see caution tape and traffic cones. It's because a woman crashed her car into the steps there. I mean, gratefully, she missed all of the other obstacles that contained people. She didn't kill me. She didn't hurt anyone in one of the vehicles that was in front of me, and there was a pedestrian on the sidewalk that she also missed, but she then hit the building or whatever, the sidewalk. And also, I don't know if you noticed, it didn't even seem like she did that much damage. I mean, it is concrete, but I was impressed that it really just wrecked the hell out of her car and the sidewalk itself. And I guess the handrail probably got fucked, so they'll need to replace that. Shocking, though, again, that it's just not as bad as it probably is. I mean, everything about it is so much less bad than it could have been. But I digress. It's another day, and I did want to include this video um, because I had the chance upon seeing my city councilor biking in the opposite direction when I was on my way home this evening. So I'll point that out when we get to it later. But in the meantime, we're just chugging our way through downtown Baltimore. It is June the 16th in Fantasyland where you are. It is much, much further in the future where I am recording this voiceover. And that's another part of the reason that I wanted to skip the video from yesterday. I'm probably going to skip quite a few and just kind of get myself back to closer to reality or the real time. I don't need to have every single day on here. That's not the point. The point is to have a representative experience. And granted, having a car crash in the video probably is representative, but it is the first time while on my bike that I have witnessed a car crash. So, maybe not. Although it's not the first car crash that I've witnessed in the last, I don't know, month, 2 months. That's a little upsetting. But, you know. And not upsetting, in a way like I am traumatized by seeing these car crashes. Like, it's maybe should be more upsetting in that regard, but it's not. Luckily, again, in both instances, there were no serious injuries, but I didn't realize that that kid just crossed the street in the middle of it. Wow. Um, in either of the incidences, but uh, significant damage, and I'm not one to get all bent out of shape about property damage, but it's a thing, and especially since in the case of the crash that I saw a few weeks ago, it was a young woman's car that got destroyed by a driver that was allegedly inebriated at the time of the crash. So, it's that's especially I'm gonna just put this out there right now. If you drive after drinking, you're an asshole. I don't really want to hear any kind of like excuses or whatever. It's just true. And I understand that there are some places in this world, in this country, where you can't go out and drink without driving home. But, you know, if you have more than like one or two beers at a restaurant and you have to drive home afterward, you're putting other people's lives in danger. I don't want to hear any excuses. This is just a fact. But especially in Baltimore City, I don't know where he was coming from, but he didn't need to. He just, everything was not necessary. What just happened was not necessary. If you live in Baltimore City, you can go out and walk home afterward. So I don't want to hear about it. But instead, he, now not allegedly, he did hit and run. He hit this young woman's car in the intersection, waited for about, I don't know, 3 seconds, realized he was fucked, and just left. And by, again, not someone to advocate for cops being everywhere or even cops being involved in every situation, but in this situation, there were two cops that witnessed the crash. One that came to the aid of the young woman, and one that went and pulled over the driver. And that's how I know that he was under the influence, because the police were talking to each other, and I stayed at the scene of the crash because I was a witness of it, and I was chit-chatting with folks there, and the police officer noted that they believed that the driver of the other vehicle was under the influence. So, anyway, I'll get off of my little diatribe here, but I don't know why. Again, this is where you come. This is what it's all about. Anyway, uh, so we're making our way through downtown. This is our delivery driver, and this is Mark Parker, and that is his son, I think, probably. So that was kind of cool. I think, like I mentioned the other day, obviously, like he actually does use active transportation, as demonstrated just now. But I think it's so important for these elected officials to see what this looks like day in and day out. So even if he knows what it's like, because it seems like he does, um, this is something that he could point to his colleagues. Because I'm not in his district right now. I'm in a different district, and the policies of all of the districts add up together to create a cohesive uh, city. Because, just because you have a bike-friendly counselor in your district, it is helpful. Don't get me wrong. I like Mark. But you need to have you need to be able to convince other people in the coalition as to why these things are important. And his firsthand experience is extremely valuable, but we need to have him be able to point out things beyond that, be able to show people what it's like for the average citizen getting across the city. So you'll see here, someone got pulled over, and they're parked in the bike lane, and also in the crosswalk. Just 10 out of 10, really. So I think we're about to get a crossing signal. I'm going to check on that in just a moment. So just a tip, if you are a cop, um, Baltimore City or not, when you pull someone over and they pull into a bike lane, into a non-travel lane for vehicles that is for other types of mobility, whether that's a bus lane or a bike lane or whatever, just get out of your car, go talk to the person that you pulled over, and ask them to pull to somewhere else off of the roadway. There's a turn right up here where they can turn right and get off of the roadway and out of the way for everyone. But instead, you're blocking the bike lane, which is not wide enough to actually have a car parked in it. So now you're also not only blocking the bike lane, but you're also blocking a lane of travel for cars. So you're just fucking everybody over for no reason. It's very easy. Just go ask them to move. Your job is to be a agent of safety. So maybe don't make it more dangerous for people. Just a thought. All right. I have mentioned in videos past, but hopefully more people are paying attention now. I know I've certainly started to see a little bit more viewership. I had one video that had 20 viewers, so things are looking up. But if you've made it this far, then I encourage you to ask any questions that you have in the comments, and I can answer them in a future video. This is also a great opportunity to remind everyone to like and subscribe, maybe? If you are a resident of Baltimore City, I'm also would love to hear your thoughts about the path that I take to and from work. I have spent, I've been riding my bike to work for 3 years at this point, and I got really close to that car. Bold move. And I've changed my route several times over the years. Um, I used to ride down Lombard all the way from Patterson Park, and I don't do that anymore. I've found that it just feels a lot more safe to ride on Bank and Goff. So on my way home, I used to ride through Fells Point. I'd ride down on Lancaster Street and through that, you know, through the Broadway Square area, and then all the way across to down near the water. And then I would cut back up and go somewhere. Either I used to ride on Fate up toward my house, and then I started riding on Foster. But then now I'm, as you've seen in these videos, I've been riding on Bank and Golf in the mornings and Bank in the afternoon, and then through Patterson Park, and then up Potomac. I mean, you got that cycle lane there, might as well use it. But, this is still not perfect. As you all have seen, it still has its issues for sure. But oh yeah, so cheat codes when you're on a bike. You can just hop on the sidewalk. Streets closed, just ride the sidewalk. I mean, not strictly legal either, but, no one's gonna shout at you. Although, on this day, I'm pretty sure they just let a dude drive through the construction zone. I think you're gonna see, yeah, there's a car right there. I remember he was just like, hey, me though? And the construction guy was like, yeah, whatever. I'm like, alright. I guess I could have just ridden across. I mean, what I have seen also recently is that other cyclists will just ride through the construction zone. I thought that was interesting. I mean, they are finally repaving that section of Bank, which I am super jazzed about because it is horrible. But on that day, which is might be tomorrow, I might include that. We'll see. Like I said, I'm probably just going to skip forward for convenience because I'm recording this on June 22nd. So I am really behind at this point. And I mean, on the bright side, I guess, I accidentally, I guess, didn't hit record when I was on my way home on Thursday. So that recording doesn't exist. So that's one less thing to have to worry about. So we'll see. And you'll see in this video that they did start now to clean up the fallen limb. It is out of the way now. Very exciting. You would have seen in yesterday's video that they hadn't even cut it down yet. So I wound up just cutting across the grass. But today, hey, it's out of the way now. And I think by tomorrow, maybe the next day, it is fully cleaned up. or by and large. I think it's reached a point where they will not be doing anything further. They have, in their minds, closed the ticket. All right. So we are reaching the end of our journey. As I said earlier, feel free to ask any questions, make any comments, thoughts about the way that I travel on my way to and from work. I will say that this little stretch here, hey look, a driving garbage can. I've never seen a dumpster do that before. Anyway, um, this crossing right here is one of the most stressful parts of my commute, and I don't really know what to do about it. It's always, I, people are supposed to stop, and they rarely do. So, I shouldn't say that. People don't stop until you basically, like, are in front of them. Hmm. Well, I wasn't expecting the video to end like that, and I remember now that there's more video. Um, hmm. Okay. I'm gonna quickly wrap things up. I think there's another piece of video that I'm gonna tag to the end of this. You can't see that because I've done that already. But for me, the video just stopped randomly. So, I am gonna say thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a great day.